What is up, YouTube? Justin here with a new Dev Diary video. I'm gonna go ahead and start doing Stellaris as well. As I get more into other Paradox games, I'll probably branch out and do some of the other ones, and I might start keeping up on Imperator, but for now, we'll just cover Crusader Kings and, as this one says, Stellaris. So, I was told that Stellaris has a pretty big update coming through, and even though this says it might not be accompanied by any DLC or anything like that, either way, it's a pretty big change they're making here. So, the first Dev Diary, I was going to do this in one big part just to kind of catch up. There's 3 Dev Diaries so far. But let's just say Wiz here, the director, he made some pretty beefy diaries. And I started looking at diary number 3 and I realized this is way too much stuff to try to cover in one video, much less I even understand it all. So, what we're looking at here is they are revamping the economy in Stellaris, and they're also revamping planets and cities. Well, revamping planets and how they work and how cities work on them and things like that. So, first we'll just look at the new economy system. Basically, they have remodeled the economy in the game. First, if you like code, here you go. Here's some code. That's, how they're making this work. But basically, what's happening is they're redoing the toolbar and they're redoing how units count, how units and things count against your economy and how they affect your costs and how many resources you need and things of that nature. They've also, as you can see here, it's not the final toolbar, he emphasizes that, but you can see they're kind of toying with the idea of having some of your special resources be on this bar as well, while allocating the rest of them to a little tooltip sidebar thing. I find it interesting because it sounds like things aren't just going to cost, they aren't just going to cost minerals and energy anymore. They might cost some of these luxury, I'm going to call them luxury resources. They might cost some of these luxury resources. They might cost some of these special resources. But in general, they're reworking how the economy works. It's not all set in stone yet. Sorry if what I'm saying is just it's not very specific. But it's not very clear exactly yet how they're doing it. But they do want to rework how resources work. They want to make them more versatile. And they want to be able to introduce new resources and let a different spacefaring civilization decide more so what resources it needs to use. So I guess if your civ is more reliant on the rare crystals than say some of these ores over here, the bar might switch out. So we'll keep track of that in the upcoming days. But one thing to note, and I was reading this in a future Dev Diary, but it looks like they're hybridizing science together, and they're redoing the tech tree is what it looks like. So just a heads up there when that comes up in the future. And then, of course, I don't know what this is. We will get to see what those do in the future. But the meat and potatoes of these 3 Dev Diaries, so here they are, by the way. The link for this will be in the description, so if you want to go check these out yourself, please do. So yeah, part 1 of 4 and 2 of 4. We'll be doing 2 of 4 in a separate video. Expect that maybe a day or two. I don't know if I have time to do that one today. But I'm going to just show you right now. This is a large Dev Diary, and it's got a lot of things in it, so bear with me. I'm going to try to go through it as concisely as possible, and if you go through and read this yourself and I maybe missed a detail or messed up a detail or two, please by all means in the comments below just correct me. I don't mind that at all. It's a lot to take in. So the gist of it is they're redoing planets. This is the planet summary screen right now. So before you had your 16 tile planet or your 25 tile planet, and it's locked with certain resources. So one tile maybe has 2 food, another one has an energy and a mineral, another one has a tile blocker, things of that nature. They're doing away with that. Mostly, as he says here, the design goals are to make it so you can have different societies, have different uses for each planet. So you can have a population planet, you can have an industry planet, you can have an energy planet. You can have them be more devoted to certain things rather than every planet's basically the same thing. It just depends on what you rolled that time. So it also lets you have a little bit more management with your populations. So I find that interesting as well. And there's a new resource here. I believe it's this one. It's called infrastructure. It's not really a resource, more so a modifier on the planet that says how many districts you can have. Or not districts, I'm sorry. How many buildings you can have. So the first thing there are is they did away with the old resource system and they have deposits now. So your planet has these various deposits. Some of them are blocked by various things. And it sounds like what happens is, if you're building, let's say you're doing your industry, your mining districts, you can have as many as you want up to the point that your planet can sustain. So I believe these are, I think, now that's an energy one. I think this is a mineral one right here. So basically this means I can have two mineral buildings on this planet, 4, 5, you know, it has to do with your deposits. Again, I could be reading this wrong, but I'm pretty sure those are your deposits. Also, you still do have to clear out tile blockers and things of that nature, but it's a little bit more versatile. As they put it, they want it to be less, you know, this tile has food, therefore I put a food district on, or a food district, I forgot the word for what the little food building is, but hydro farm. You don't want to put a hydroponics farm on that. Or you have a little mineral thing, you get to put a mine on it. They want it to be a little more different than that and a little bit more intuitive. Another interesting thing they've done is they do have districts now. And I keep using the words interchangeably, and I apologize. But districts are basically, well, they're 4 things. City district, mineral district, food district, generator district, or energy district. These add to your infrastructure, and they add to your population and housing. So if you don't have enough housing, you can't have that, you know, too many people on your planet, and so on and so forth. City districts provide the most infrastructure and housing. They also provide, there's a new resource. I saw it on one of these. There it is. Luxury resources. They provide luxury resources. However, they don't provide much in terms of the mineral, the energy, and the food. You build a mineral or an energy district or a food district. They provide a little bit of housing and a little bit of infrastructure, but they don't provide, a little bit of housing, a little bit of infrastructure, but they don't provide nearly as much. Right now, it's 1/3 the amount that a city makes. So you have to keep that in mind now when you're building your cities. And the reason they did this, he kind of explains somewhere in here. I'll hover over this so you can kind of read this a little bit if you need to. But the reason they did this is they want it to be like, so you know, like Coruscant or some of the city planets that they have, you can make a city planet now. It might not generate hardly any minerals or energy or food. It might need to, you know, to have those imported, but it pumps out tons of population, tons of luxury resources, tons of science. The city districts help you do science and let you build your unique buildings, actually. But it doesn't give you much in terms of actual resources that, say, maybe minerals and energy that your ships need. So you do have to make some of those decisions now. You still can have, like I said, you can have various. If you can hold up to 8 mining facilities, you can build 8 mining facilities. Or now, if you want to build your monument for your Unity, you could still only build 1, but I believe that goes in a city district. One thing that he did mention, and this is where I got the gist that they're doing hybridizing science. Science now, you don't have to build a physics lab, a bio lab, or an engineering lab. It sounds like you just have to build a science facility, and it adds to the total science output as a whole from the planet. I don't think that's set in stone yet, and that might even be changed in the dev diary I haven't even been able to completely look at, but they are doing something different with the science in the game. So, and here's a little bit more on how some of these work. So, so city districts also produce, like, so for the luxury resources, you have artisans now, and your population has jobs now. So it's just a whole bunch of interesting things like that. There's more in the next dev diary. Honestly, I have not had a chance to look at it. I just know it covers population and how to work with those kinds of things. But the gist of it is they are redoing this whole system. Again, if I missed anything, I'll try to cover it in the next dev diary. There is so much in this one diary right here that it looks awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I know this isn't the finalized format, but it looks pretty darn good. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. I'm looking forward to seeing what their final product's gonna be, because it sounds like they're revamping a lot of different things that they kind of needed to revamp. This game, it has so much potential. It just needs a little bit of love, and it looks like this guy here is trying to give a little bit of love to it. So I will see you on the next dev diary video, where we will cover part 2 of 4, and then I will try to do 1 video per diary from then on. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.